My family has a lot of unique stories that have interesting insights in each of their lives. I interview my grandpa, my cousin, and myself. There are several connections between my family's lives and the social events or struggles we have today. In the case of my grandfather, he has a lot of information about segregation and immigration in the United States, how he would go to places and they would separate them because of the color of their skin. He discusses how there was a hall in every place he would go and every person would choose a side. He also talks about how Mexicans would just marry Americans to obtain legal citizenship in the US. These and many other topics will be discussed in the video.
Allá en Aquelcó, en la pizca de algodón, ¿entiendes? Y cuando llegamos allá, íbamos a un restaurante, íbamos yo y otro muchacho, y luego la policía, oye, ¿por dónde van? No, pues vamos a almorzar. Aquí no se revuelve con los negros aparte, y si van al cine aparte, van a donde quiera que vayan aparte. Y entonces fuimos al cine y habían andado por el medio, para acá eran negros y para acá eran mexicanos. Eran negros. No nos llegaron a nosotros que nos juntamos con ellos. Todavía nosotros estábamos mejores.
Now he will talk about how he would pick cotton at the fields and this experience he had about that.
Porque comenzamos a pescar y dijo el bolívar que yo estaba, digo, tú vas a pesar. Y entonces yo estaba de pesador. Cuando vino la ley, chinga, se llevó a todos y ahí me dejó porque yo estaba acá muy aparte pesando. Pensaron que para que yo estuviera pesando, pues era legal. Vino el dueño. ¿Qué pasó? Hombre, vino la ley, se llevó todo. Yo que pero siempre con suerte. El pesador, pues es que estaba legal. No, hombre, yo estaba más mojado que el niño.
And then he talks about his friend that married a woman to get citizenship in the US.
No más porque te casaras, aunque sea de mentiras, con una negra, con una del otro lado, arreglaba. Y se casaron y todo y arregló, pero era de mentiras.
The stories my grandpa has to share are very brief, but it's the meaning behind them what makes them important in life. Or well, at least in his life. Sure enough, they were important because he still remembers them. So we can tell that social issues are a big part of us.
Luego yo fui tractorista y regaba y hacía era el dedo chiquito de Bach, de Roberto Bach.
The next story will be shared by my cousin and he will talk about bullying in his life.
Entré a la escuela pero yo no conocía a nadie. Entonces intenté hablar con mucha gente.
Sí.
Y era como que, hola, me llamo Daniel. Y se voltea y dice, es que me pusieron la atención. O sea, se empezaron a reír de mí, digo, otro tipo de personas, otro ambiente. Pero pues que como sea más llevadero, intenté hablar con todos y así. Pero pues te digo, me ignoraban y los que me ponían atención era para burlarse de mí. Entonces, gente que yo en mi vida había visto corrieron el rumor de que era gay. La gente no me quiso hablar de los chavos. 3 días sin hablar con nadie en el colegio, sin cruzar palabra con nadie que no fuera un profesor. Y entonces hablamos de que yo comía en la grada solo. Y de cuenta que en la grada está la cancha, entonces todos están viendo que estás solo. Y nada más veía a la gente pasar y se supone que comía junto con un chavo, pero no quería hablarme muy bien porque todavía creía que era gay. Me acostumbré a caminar más rápido para llegar más rápido a mi casa, a comer más rápido, para no pasar tanto tiempo ahí. Nada más por la apariencia de cómo me veían más flaco o así, que era pelirrojo. Me decían cosas. Necesitamos equipos de 5 personas, necesitamos parejas o así. Y haz de cuenta que yo quedaba sin equipo y presentaba todos los trabajos solo. Hubo trabajos que no entregué porque eran demasiado laboriosos para que los hiciera yo solo. Las calificaciones bajaron mucho. Un grupo de chavas me invitó a comer con ellos. Entonces pues accedí, ¿verdad? Pues, para no comer solo. Y me senté con ellas en un grupo de como unas 9 chavas. Y las chavas sí hablaban conmigo y platicaban, era muy buena onda. Entonces se volvieron mi
Tus
grupito.
amigas.
Sí, pero luego me empezaron a molestar más porque me juntaba con puras chavas. Entonces les dejé de hablar. Y las chavas se molestaron un poco. Había un sujeto que, no sé, no me podía ver, sentaba en la fila de al lado. Y cualquier momento de que yo hablara o levantara la voz en clase para decir algo, una broma
Sí.
o para contestar, siempre me decía algo. Ya cállate o no es cierto o así. Y pues tampoco está como que muy bien como que estar aguantando sus cosas. Y pues eventualmente ya no hablaba. No hablaba con mi grupito de chavos.
As you can see, we are affected by problems every day, and we all manage them in different ways. And no matter how many years have passed after social issues have been talked about, we still have several of them, and they haven't died as we suppose they would. In this video, I realized that we all have a lot of issues that we do not talk about, and sometimes they're the same issues others go through. And in my family, there are a lot of hidden stories that I never thought I would listen to them within my own people. And I think this is a learning experience. For the last person to interview, I decided to do it on myself. So I will be sharing a story with you that I haven't shared with many people. And I just recently told my mom about this. It was like 6 years ago, and I think it has power. I think it can inspire some people. I moved to Brownsville when I was in 8th grade, and I remember I would always go in the bus after school and in the morning. But specifically after school, there was this one day that I was just gonna go home like any other regular day, and I remember there was this guy, Shaggy, and he would always make these comments about anybody. Like if you had any kind of characteristic about you that made you a little different, he would always pick on those people and make fun of whatever it was that they had different from anybody else. So he would always make fun of how I have an accent, how just the way I would talk to people. I was very shy at the beginning, and I think that really, it gets to you. When you're 15 years old, those things get to you because you're a kid and you don't know better, and you think what people tell you about you, most of it is going to be true, but it doesn't have to be. And I remember he would just make these comments, and there was this one day where I was just gonna go home, and I was going to get off, and I remember that day was just so annoying, and he told me all these things. He's like, get back to your fucking country, like I don't even know why you're here. He would tell me such horrible things, and I'll be like, how can you be so racist to your own people? Like you're basically judging yourself, and that's just really messed up. He would tell me comments every single day that I would speak to him because of whatever reason. But that day he just went too far, and I remember I told him off because I was tired of it. But since I was really mad, I started speaking Spanish, and we all know how Spanish sounds. It's really aggressive, and in my perspective, I think Spanish sounds so much meaner than English. I don't know why, but that's how I feel about it. So Shaggy went home really sad that day. He was like, I can't believe she told me off. And I really hated it. Living in Brownsville was, at the beginning, it was one of the hardest things I've ever been through. Like all these transitions you go through, and the language you have to grasp, and like it's hard. It's hard. The thing is, when you have an accent, you just have it, and people are gonna know. Even though you know like all these vocabulary, they're gonna know that you're not. I mean, I'm 19 years old now, and I understand way more than what I understood when I was in 8th grade. You just gotta be strong, because if you're not strong, you're not gonna be able to take the worst things that come to you when you're way older. So I think you gotta be super confident about yourself. I remember that day, Shaggy, we told each other off. I remember the next day after that, he got off my bus stop. He got off there with me, and I walk home, and he's like, "Can I walk you home?" And I was like, "I guess." Okay. So we walked to my house, and he actually apologized to me for being a douche. I mean, like you're no, you don't do that. I mean, who teaches you that? Anyway, he apologized, and I was like, I guess I'll take it. I mean, we're kids, so those things kind of teach you that you just have to try your best at anything you do, and that this culture teaches you a lot. Being Mexican American is a big deal. So in conclusion, my family's lives have connections to bigger social issues through history.